Hello, everybody. Joe Megaduns here, and welcome back to another episode of Tsukihime Remake. Well, last time I left off, had a little quick bout with Noelle. Had a trauma dump from her that essentially ended in so what, lol. And now we're flashing back again. This time to, I assume, see things from Ciel's perspective. At least after she got donutted by Arcuid and kind of, crawled back into the driver's seat after escaping the trunk Roa stuck her into to find a kind of look around and be like, what the fuck? Where am I? Well, she would know because she saw it all happen, but now she's at the wheel and kind of still like wrapped around a tree because fucking Roa flung this car off a cliff, but she's just gotta, put it in gear, throw it in reverse, and get back to driving. Even though the car is basically destroyed and there's no road, and there's people coming trying to strip all the parts off the car and like throw it into a cube and melt it down, like at the end of Terminator 2 or something. Anyway, I'm losing the plot here. Hello, hi, how are you all doing? I'm tired. I just woke up. Ugh. It's 11 a.m. They changed my shift again, and it's rough. Like, I didn't really do much last night, but just the fact that I had to stay up till like 4 in the morning, then go to sleep, and then wake up when my body's telling me I should already be up, and it's not very good for you. Ugh. My circadian rhythm's whack. And I can tell it's not good for me because I'm starting to get more gray hairs. Higher up than they've normally been. For the past couple of years, I'd see one or two kind of on the side, just kind of like little speckles of salt, like right above the ear. Like that part of the hair, your head, whatever you want to call it, like that kind of hair pattern, the little just dashes of white. But now I'm looking in the mirror and I thought it's just like, oh, the light's catching a piece of my hair and it's just shining, like right at the part on the left side, kind of like if you follow your hairline around from like your middle of your forehead back, and then that's where the part is. It's like right there. I'm like, oh damn, I got a whitey just sprouting out. Looked around, nothing else, just that one. But it's when you see one, they're like cockroaches, man. There's more hiding, under the surface, just waiting to pop up. It's like bamboo. You can't get rid of bamboo, even if you pluck it out. It's all in the root system, baby. You gotta burn it out if you want to get rid of it, but I really don't feel like burning my hair out, so I'm just gonna let it ride and get old. But on the bright side, completely unrelated to my hair thing, in my personal life, or perhaps even my professional life, I'd say professional life, but it affects my personal life because it has to do with my pay. Ya boy is eligible for a crazy bonus. They just put out their list of career fields for the military, where they're like, we're like really running low on you guys, so please don't leave and get a better paying job with better life status and like work-life balance in the civilian world. We'll give you a lot of money. And the job I do falls under that category. So once I promote and so on and put in my new rank, I'll be making more money, which is what they use that base pay to calculate what the bonus is going to be. So if I sign up for a new contract after I put on my new rank, but before I hit my 10-year mark, which is real close, I'd be doing it like 2 weeks before the end of my contract. And then the bonus is calculated like your base pay times however many years you're re-enlisting for times the number stipulated in the chart they put out. And my number's like 3.5, which is really good. That's really good. That means they are desperate for people to stay. If I would say, I don't know, re-up for 10 years because I got nothing else going on, or maybe even 5. Doesn't really matter. But let's do 10 for illustrative purposes, because that's the one I threw in my calculator. So, 10 years times my monthly base pay, which under my new rank would be about $4,000 a month, times the multiplicative number, which was like 3.5 in this case. I end up with a bonus of $170,000. Now, the way that works is or was it 140,000? No, it was 170,000. Okay, I remember. Or you can do your math afterwards, correct me. But nevertheless, I would get half that up front. A huge lump sum right in the pocket, which I can't even remember if that's taxable or not. It's probably taxable, but nevertheless, that's a sizable down payment on a house right there. And then you get the rest of it as monthly installments. Hey, that's essentially a mortgage payment right there, on top of the regular paid bonuses I will be getting at my allocated housing allowance, which is on top of that base pay, that $4,000 I mentioned. So, if I play my cards right, your boy is in a nice looking spot. Not gonna lie. But I just gotta survive the holidays to get there first, and survive the classes I'm teaching, and survive the classes I'll be going to. It's a lot, but I can do it. Gotta chase that bag any way you can. But yeah, that's been my day. All right, let's hop into it. How you doing, Ciel? Watch normality descend into nightmare. Stop. No, don't do it. I watch parents kill their children. Oh, she was speaking. It was just really quiet. I watch children kill their parents. I watch as they're all consumed by indiscriminate slaughter. I watch, helpless to intercede, as a hell of my own creation unfolds. I try to hold myself back, but it's pointless. I try to close my eyes, but it's useless. I try to shut my mouth, but it's hopeless. And when nothing else works, I try to kill myself, but powerless. I am a sick kind of machine. A compactor built to extract blood by any means. Perhaps that is insulting to machines. A machine is at least efficient about its work. I don't know, buddy. I've worked with some really inefficient machines before in my time. No one would design a machine to enjoy its victims' terror or savor their screams. I hadn't been human for a long time. Buddy, that's how I feel every single morning when I'm looking in the mirror. Just kind of like both hands on the sink, just like 3 inches away from it, just staring at myself. With the hot tap running. We all have those days. Just an imposter clothed in human skin. Regardless of what I have or have not done, my nature marks me for death. So they all said, and they were all right. My existence was unjustifiable. I'd hoped it would at least be over before the sun rose. But the night never ends. The ritual very near succeeds. Arguid falls neatly into my grasp. Give just a little more time, I'll be able to devour her. Instead, an uninvited seventh guest expertly tips the scales against us. And so I die. At long, long last. My only regret is that it didn't happen sooner. I'm discarded by the roadside, my carcass left to rot amongst those of the people I killed. My eyes are closed for what follows, so I have no way of knowing how the story ends. Finally, I plunge into death's dark abyss. It's alright. It's better this way. Now I'll never have to wake again. Now the memories won't haunt me night after night. It's best for everyone that I stay dead. Whomst would this uninvited guest be? But even in sleep, I couldn't forget. Of course not. I mustn't ever forget what I've done. So instead, I fought, hoping to be of some use to humanity, vowing never to rest for as long as I lived. I convinced myself even I could make a difference. How foolish I was. All I achieved was hurting those around me. All I accomplished was tainting her soul. I don't know, man. I think Noelle was kind of a lost cause. Well, I won't say that, but it was definitely a poor choice from whoever your superiors are to lump you two together as, like, constant reminders to each other of your past. That seems like something that they should have caught. Be like, this might not be good in the long run. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't know my place. I'm sorry I couldn't die when I should have. I'm sorry I can't fight anymore. Those 6 years didn't change me one bit. I've lost everything that made me who I am. Now I'm no more than a mindless husk. It's only right that this is how I should meet my end. Killing my own heart until there's nothing left inside me. I'm so sorry. Never should have fooled myself into thinking I was worthy of saving anyone. Oh, Ciel's gonna unlock the sorry capo type. At least it's better than like Apocalypse Cop. So why? Why do I still feel the warmth of a hand through my hair? I see. There's someone still out there, fighting. Carrying me onwards, even though I don't deserve it. Calling my name over and over, refusing to abandon me. The pallid heat of his body warms my chest. I wish he'd stop. I wish he'd leave me here. There's someone out there who needs me. I'm sure he isn't the first. But that isn't enough. I can't fight anymore. I can't take it. I can't bear the memories. I've been in pain for so long, all I want to do is rest. I've never been strong, just terrified of stopping. It's only a matter of time before I derailed and crashed. So what would be the point of picking myself back up? No matter how many vampires I kill, or how many lives I save, I will never find forgiveness.
自分は許されないだって。そんなの当たり前だ。あなたは絶対に許されない。何よりあなた
Well, yeah, everyone who could have is kind of
自
dead,
分を
so.
許すことを認めない。
Accept yourself. The voice is right by my ear, speaking the heartfelt words of someone who is no longer here. But he's right. There's no forgiveness waiting for me, no absolution. I can't ever atone for my past. The best I can do is stay here, in the darkness.
違いますよ。あなたが許さないと誓ったのは過去じゃなくて、何をしても結果は同じなら。
I'm so glad he's not wearing his dumb jean jacket.
何をしても
I'm able to
失われ
actually
た
take
も
it
の
a
は
little
戻
more
らないのな
seriously.
ら、せめて 一つでも多くの良いことをやって死なないと。
I sob into my knees. His words strike home. The thought of my stupidity threatens to tear my chest open. I know, believe me, I know. I spent 6 years living like that. Now I wonder if that wasn't sinful in itself. After all the lives I've taken, what right do I have?
許されないのでは。
My sobs intensify as the depths of my cowardice hits me. I must be the vilest creature alive. Everything on this earth should scorn me. And yet, I feel the squeeze of someone's embrace.
あなたは言った。死なない体だから。体が強いから罪に耐えられた。でも、それは違う。絶対に違うんです。
Yeah, most people would have broken long
体が
before
強
then.
いからじゃない。あなたは始まりから心が強かった。それは。
That's something he can never have, he says. And I should be proud to let it shine through. My sins may be many, but I've managed to cultivate a virtuous heart, to nurture it, to keep it close. Then there is meaning in my atonement. He tries to hide the sadness lurking beneath his words, as though he's letting go of something he desperately wanted for himself.
俺はどうしようもない人間で、実のところ、
Yeah,
感謝することは
you've
た
done
く
some
さんあ
shitty
ったけ
things,
ど、
bud.
楽しいと思える時はなかったんです。
Though, also, in your defense, most of the shitty things you've done are, you know, not of your own volition.
でも、あなたがいてくれた。あなたがいてくれると嬉しい。あなたが笑ってくれると嬉しい。俺は先輩のために生きていきたいと思ったんです。あなたの道に付き添っていく。あなたが許される日は来ないと分かっていても、あなたが自らを許せる日が来ることを願って、ずっと一緒に歩いていく。だから、厳しいけど、力尽きるまで戦うのをやめないで。
Mm-hmm. The pressure of his embrace fades away. His presence gently withdraws. With a bashful smile, he runs off towards the battlefield. His faith in me wings at his back.
なんて見当違いの信頼でしょう。私が始まりから強かった。全く馬鹿らしい。
Yeah, like someone with blonde hair and red eyes instead.
あなた
Someone
は
way
自分
cuter.
を殺さなかった。
That's neither here nor there.
自分の命かわいさにみんなを見殺しにした。この世で最もありきたりな利己主義という悪心。それが私たちの正体でしょう。
Hey man, just a drop in the ocean. I stop my weeping. Boiling blood surges through my leaden body. That's what I get for recording right after I woke up. It's painful, excruciating. I've come back to life more times than I can count, but the agony is overwhelming every time. I really can't seem to stop apologizing. I'm sorry, my body. I've put you through a lot, but please, bear with me just a little longer.
私たちは元からそういう生き物だった。ロアという吸血鬼はケーキに過ぎない。私は優れた肉体を持って生まれてしまった。いずれ周囲
Yeah, like
と
have
の
you seen
圧
this
力が
bod?
起こってい
Fucking
た。
awooga wooga. Physical excellence. Damn right.
それがあのような形になっただけだ。私はどうあれ、きっと多くの罪を犯していた。多くの人間に石を投げられる運命だった。
Yeah, but it would have been like a petty small town. Kind of everyone's against me, or not even everyone. It would have just been like, oh, sorry, I made Noelle feel self-conscious because she's a little shorty, and the boy she likes me instead. Haha. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that bad. ripped the skin off my back. Painful, but necessary to tear free from the darkness. Besides, listen. Can you hear it? Even now, far away. Someone is fighting for me, believing in me. I'll flay myself to the bone if that's what it takes to repay their trust.
どうしてまだ希望を見るの？まだ罪を認めないの？私は絶対に救われない。代行者としてのあなたは犠牲者に過ぎない。
That's not a very good Christian mindset of you, Ciel.
私たちには救われる奇跡も生きている理由も
You should know all your doctrine and dogma by now.
愛される価値もない。そうでしょ、エレイシア。
There we go, that was her name. I was right. Right. I'm not worthy of anyone's love. But I have seen a miracle. Something noble and pure. Everything he's ever had has been taken from him. So cruelly and completely has he been robbed, he can't even conceive of what he's lost. If anyone has the right to pursue their own happiness above all else, it's him. Yet he prayed for mine instead. In all his strength, he chose me. So I have to prove that I'm worthy of his faith by getting this frog out of my throat. Ugh. In that desire, I discovered the last remnants of my will.
そう。
I reach upwards towards the light. My body is drained of strength. My heart is as weak as ever. My doubts will stay with me until my dying day. But I have to do this. This life I have isn't for lamenting the past. It's for standing up and fighting, however many times it takes, as long as there's a single shred of hope left in me.
この偽善者。
Good line, good line. Bars. Chat, is this fire?
吸血鬼になっても甘い狙いですね。あなたの本命は私でしょう、ノエル。
Ciel regards Noelle from atop her pillar, like some kind of pillar man, striking a cool pose. As she should. She has no need to look at me down here on the earth. Now that I've seen she's unharmed, I have nothing to say to her. I've played my part. Now it's up to these two to settle their score.
さっきまでメソメソ泣いていたくせに戻ってきた途端に上から目線とか笑えるわ。
Hey, it happens, it happens. We all have vulnerable moments, but what matters is that you get that second wind and you're just like, okay, got that out of my system, let's go.
何？もしかしていじめられるのが癖にな
I
っ
mean,
ち
she
ゃ
might,
っ
just a little.
た？もう一度私の目に見入られたいの？
そうですね。それがどんな仕組みの魔眼なのか興味はありますから、使っていただく分には益があ
Yeah,
り
we'll
ま
have
す。
to put him in a jar later.
でもやめておいた方がいいですよ。あなたの魔力量ではその魔眼は対応
Oh
でき
yeah,
な
you'll
い。
just fry your brain.
もう一度何より何よりもう聞きませんから。それ魔力はより強い魔力に洗い流される。どこのそのレプリカかは知りませんが、分かっていればこの通りです。
The back of Ciel's right hand is glowing. With my half-vampiric gaze, I can see the vortex of energy swirling between the two combatants. A scarlet curse emanates from Noelle's eyes, encircling Ciel like a tangle of thorns. But its barbs decay the moment they touch her body. The curse embedded in her right hand overwhelms them with its sheer magnitude. Oh yeah, that's right. She kind of stole that, didn't she? I've seen that light before. The heart of Lov's curse burned with the same brilliance.
ほんと、どこまでも偉そうな女。やだやだ、そんなに
Yeah, it's
先
like, how
輩面
many-
したいんですか、シエル先輩。
How
これ
many,
見
you
よがし
know,
に昔の
vampire
勲章を見
supers
せび
did
ら
she
かすと
steal?
か、
It's like she's got
大公
several
者
on
としても
hand.
吸血鬼としても上だって言いたいの？
そんなこといちいち言わなくちゃ伝わらないレベルでしたか。
Yeah. Sorry, Noelle, you're not very smart.
いつもの辛辣さが戻ってきたじゃない。でも今さらやる気になっても手遅れだから。冷静になって下を見下ろしたら、
Ooh, good shark teeth. Good
四
shark
季君
teeth.
は私の指先一つで死者どもの食い物になる。もうあなたが何をやってもあの子は助けられない。
Nah, he'll be fine.
それが嫌ならおとなしく私の魔眼に。
失礼。そちらなら当然真っ先に終わらせました。
Huh? For just a second, she glances at me. Seems like she's trying to tell me something, but I can't figure it out. All I can do is look back at her warily. Yeah, that's a lot of sparkles, stars, something. Hold on. Pinpricks of light fill the sky, and they aren't stars. The reverberations hit me. A dozen, 2 dozen, more. There's no doubt about it. Those are Ciel's black keys. Man, she must have really fucking launched those things up, huh? No wonder lawn darts got banned. Noelle sounds just as surprised as I am. The rain of black keys pierces every last zombie surrounding me, destroying them utterly. Noelle turns a murderous gaze towards me, or rather, towards the empty ground where her minions used to be, one last time. And then she cuts me out. As far as she's concerned, I no longer exist. Ever the pragmatist, I would have done the same. She can no longer afford any oversights or miscalculations. Goldfinger! Shut up! I don't want to listen to Superman. Stop! My secondary alarm I have to wake me up in case I missed the first one. Nothing to get you up in the morning like a little ska, you know? Anyway, where were we? With the table so decisively turned, her objective has changed. Now she's in mortal peril. In the coming minutes, she'll have to lay her very existence on the line, not to kill, but to survive.
私の今までの戦い、今までの贖罪は全て嘘だったと言いましたね、ノエル。
言ったわ。何度だって言ってあげる。あなたは嘘つきで、本当のことなんて何一つなかったんだって。
What human doesn't lie to others and themselves just to get through the day.
そうですね。私の心は嘘にまみれています。けれど消えないものもある。党の士気を助けたいという気持ちも、贖罪の名のもとに殺してきた犠牲者たちも、犯してしまった過去の罪も、決して消えない私の真実です。
It's like even if you're lying to yourself and others about the motive, it doesn't change the good things you do.
私はそれを認めます。これから私が犯す命、私が残す憎しみを全て自分の罪だと認めます。あなたが私を殺すことを正当なものだと受け入れます。
はあ？何を当たり前のことを言ってるのよ。
Look, it took her a hot minute to get there.
認めたからなんだっていうの？そんなことで自分が正しいだなんて言い張るつもり？
A little more complicated than that. A wall of spikes takes form behind Noelle's back, like a vampire's fangs, ready to sink into their prey.
いえ、善か悪かで言えば私は悪でしょう。ですが、悪だから良き生き方を望んではいけないかというのなら、それは間違いでした。だって、人間の善悪と人生の善悪は、悲しいほど違うものなんですから。
Yep.
私のせいだと復讐に走るあなたの言い分は間違いであり正しい。 ロアの転生を止めるという私の使命感も間違いであり正しい。今私たちは同じ境界に立っている。
Hey man, it's like they say. There's that meme, you know, the worst person you know just made a great point. Broken clock is right twice a day. You know, that kind of thing. The same threshold, she says. They're both sinners, straddling the line between good and evil. I don't know, man. Noelle's kind of... She kind of fell off the fence and is, like, definitively in the evil side of the yard now. Like, sure, Ciel's killed people too, but Noelle's just kind of went to town. You saw all the zombies down there? Those were just, like, people? Well, it seemed like some of them were just, stray minions from Roa's catacombs that she just kind of took control of. But the other ones we know that she just went around town, you know, creating more vampires for shits and giggles. On this battlefield, they're equals. I don't know if I've already read that.
なら
I'll say it again.
後の計りは力で示すしかない。互いが間違いであるのなら、それぞれの正しさは互いの強さでしか測れない。
You know, not saying might makes right, but you definitely need to be able to back up what you're saying with a little bit of oomph if you have to. You can't just be a pushover. The seventh holy scripture clunks into position. Ciel's eyes make it plain that she will say no more.
何それ。結局強い方が
Yeah,
正しい
they'll
ってい
speak
うわ
softly,
け。
carry the big stick.
ああ、本当に信じられない。最後の最後までムカつく女。
She doesn't understand. Ciel isn't saying that might makes right. She's saying they're both right in their own way, but brute force is the only way left to make their cases. It's an apology for failing to apologize before things reach this point. But it falls on deaf ears.
開き直りやがって。それが不公平なんだって。何度も何度も言ってるじゃない。
Nope, sure ain't. That's life, baby. It sure as hell ain't fair. Bells toll to announce the holy night. The executor meets them head on. The vampire can offer the executor no forgiveness. The executor can offer the vampire no salvation. With no recourse left but violence, their final battle begins. Noelle's spears streak towards their mark like shooting stars. A rain of steel that will skewer anything in its path, even a foe with superhuman capabilities. She's using distance to her advantage. At range, her supremacy is beyond question. Or it would be if her foe were merely superhuman. The vast distance closes in an instant. That rain of steel clouding the sky shatters against the opponent who doesn't even deign to block. No blink of an eye, the executor enters killing range. Oh no, her charge is super armor, you fool! Lunging command grab. A wall of spikes deflects the bayonet's lethal tip, only to be blasted into shards of twisted scrap. This is the third time the dance has played out. Noelle's resources are starting to run low. By contrast, her opponent is an implacable juggernaut. Implacable? Implacable? Implacable, let's go with that. Blazing with bottomless magical energy. Wiping away tears of shame, Noelle rallies herself. She knew it'd be like this. Tormenting a sad little half-vampire was one thing, but her current opponent is a monster whom other monsters fear. Victory won't come easy. She knew this from the very beginning. Hey, whoa. Not on that floor. Don't make us get the soap. Each blow pushes her a little further backwards. Each clash saps a little more of her strength. She can't take much more of this. only chance is to marshal all of her strength and kill her enemy right here, right this instant. She burns every last drop of blood in her veins. She rains down spikes until her reserves are dry. But her efforts begin in despair. The Executor is unstoppable, invincible. She can find no opening to exploit, no weakness to give her cause for hope.
何よ一本ぐらい刺さってよ少しぐらい痛がってよ擦り傷さえ負わないとかこんなのあんまりにもひどすぎる私のが正しいのに私のが正義なのに負けちゃうの
Can you really look at yourself and say, yeah, I'm the good guy?
やっぱり神様なんていないじゃない私はただ
Is to punish the woman who took everything from me. The vampire screams bitter venom. But the Executor faces the accusation and cuts it down. For years, Noelle has pursued her vendetta against Roa. Avenging those he killed was her only motive. It would be fair to call her righteous. But her cause is tainted by self-indulgence. Deliberately tormenting dead apostles, playing judge, jury, and executioner for her victims. Her lust for pleasure has claimed 50 human lives. She has used her ends to justify deplorable means. And that is a far cry from just, not a car fry. Don't fry your cars, people.
悪いそうでもしないと私みたいな凡人はあなたに追いつけなかったあなたの足元にも及ばなかったあなたを責めることができなかった
And, you know, that's kind of where, like, the first step was a misstep. You know, you shouldn't be doing it to make other people pay to get your petty revenge. You should be doing it to make the world a better place. Though I suppose those two things have just converged in her head into being the exact same thing. All she has left is a single spear in her hand. She draws on her old skills with a halberd, a memento of the time she was human, to swing it with all her strength. Ironically, at this final juncture, the battle has taken on a familiar form. They have sparred like this many times over the years. That familiarity forces a momentary standoff.
そうだ倒れろお前なんか消えてなくなれそう私はロアなんてどうでもよかったこの先ロアに食われる奴らなんて関係ないし気にもならない私の町を食い物にしたあんたを殺したかっただけなんだ
That is the truth at the heart of her being. She cares not for the lives Zoro might take, only for those he has already taken. And this is the result. Her desires have twisted her into a murderous abomination. Now she is no different from the very vampire she so despised. Yeah, if Noelle had like any reading comprehension or ability for like higher critical thought, she would have realized this, but what can you do? A slash from the guillotine blade sends her flying. She slumps weakly to the ground, split from shoulder to hip. Ooh, that's a good one. She plants her broken spear into the earth to keep her torso upright. The battle is over. The executioner steadily advances on her incapacitated foe.
吸血鬼になったことではなく吸血鬼として行動したこと、それがあなたの間違
Like
い
Shiki over
です
there, he's got a vampire body, but he hasn't done anything yet.
死とノエ
I
ル
mean, besides,
弱き人々を守護する精霊と父の名においてあなたへの刑を代行します
besides like incapacitating that random woman and dragging her to an alley and almost killing her, but he didn't. He might have, you know, went a little extreme on Kohaku, but knowing the Kohakers, she did that to herself. because it would be funny, and just as a way to twist the knife even more. But other than that, you know, he's gotten real close. He's been riding the line, but he hasn't crossed it yet. The words roused her fading consciousness. She was no longer an executioner, nor even a clergywoman. Only dead Apostle Noel. She looks down at herself, as though surprised to find a vampire's failing body staring back. Whether it is sadness or disbelief that courses through her, she cannot tell. None now that she has sold her mortality. But something burns in her veins. How did things end up this way? I'd always hated her, but I thought we had a truce. Maybe this was always coming, but it shouldn't have happened so soon. Something tells me I should have had much farther to go. So why did things come to a head now? Of course. What else? My rage could not be contained. I could not have lived without forgiving her. I mean, I could have lived without forgiving her. If she had just stayed the way she was, I might have settled for indifference. But not after that.
すっごい大成功。ノエルちゃんってばものすっごい。
Yeah, I don't want to say Ciel got over it, but it was something she had managed to kind of compartmentalize and, you know, live with it, compared to Noel, who's just all consumed by it. So seeing someone, just from her perspective, forget about the things she done is the unforgivable act. And she just kind of went off the rails from there.
よーし、サービスでもう一本あげちゃいましょう。あ、でもこれはシャレだから追加で打つのはやめときなさいね。今ですら破裂寸前なんだもの。もう一つ上を目指すなんてほんと一瞬で溶けちゃうから。
Are you telling me her blood will be melting? Like some kind of melty blood? Actress again, current code. Ooh, owie! Her bones. Will is seized by a grotesque metamorphosis. The newborn star flares into being, explodes, and condenses into a galaxy, all within her chest. An internal transformation on a cosmic scale. Her own body is the first to shatter as her curse tears through it. In that moment, she finds joy. Now, at last, she is her enemy's enemy.
イデアプラット、そんなものを打ち込むなんてノエル。うるさい、うるさい。
Yeah, she ain't in the best mental state right now.
痛い。助けて、シエル助けて。うるさい。お前なんかに助けられるか。こんなひどい。痛い。どうして。
You seem to be a little off balance here, Noel. Her candle is all but burned out. She blindly lashes out again and again. Each strike the executioner's match.
なんでよ。演技のままならよかったのに。いつもの非人間のままなら私だって許せたのに。吸血鬼を狩るだけの、戦うだけのエンジンならよかったのに。本当に心から尊敬していたのに。なんでこんなところで。
Yes, how dare you, strive for a better life. Real crabs in a bucket mentality.
私を置いてただの人間に戻っちゃったのよ。
She launches her final blow even as her body breaks. The killing thrust born of all her newfound strength. Faced with the sum of Noelle's entire being, Ciel brings her barrel to bear and readies her stake driver. For a moment, she's tempted to surrender to the encroaching spear, the primal scream of Noelle's soul. Then she hardens her heart and annihilates her foe. The stake driver obliterates Noelle's core. Should have done more crunches, harden that thing up. Her spear falls to the ground with a clang. She stretches her blood-stained hand towards nothingness, grasping for someone she could never reach. Her whisper belongs not to the executioner, not to the vampire, but to a young girl, curled up and scared and alone in a chapel hall.
お父さんを返せ。お母さんを返せ。私の人生を返せ。
The disintegration reaches her torso. As her flesh crumbles and darkness closes
お願い
in,
返して。返して。
she leaves behind one final wish, left unspoken for 13 years. Hate to tell you, Noelle, but you, hell, even according to your own doctrine, you ain't going to the same place as them. Silence returns to the ruined crater. Ciel remains where she stands, head bowed. She never pulled the trigger. The girl's body turned to ash and scattered on the wind before her stake driver could finish its work. She does not let go of her weapon. Does not relax her shoulders with a sigh. Does not turn to face me as I draw up to her side. All she does is whisper 7 simple
5年
words.
間はちょっと長かったですね。
Yeah. A brief soliloquy delivered in a colorless tone, belying the horror of the ordeal she just witnessed.
先輩、
基本的に私たち代行者のチームというのは1年も続かないんです。任務中だから代行者はこういうことに慣れているんです。
Yeah, people die. It happens. You'll get a new one.
どちらかが吸血鬼に落ちたら変わる前に殺してほしいとか、本当よくある約束で、任務前には冗談半分、本音半分で言い合ったりするチ
When it's
ー
a
ム
real
ばっかりで。
workplace hazard,
先輩。
だから何でもないことで、特に悲しむことでもない。ノエルは吸血鬼になって、人間社会にとって害悪になった。精神的な問題ではなく、構造的な問題です。
well, yeah.
彼女はもう、人間を殺さなければ生きていけない体になっていた。
She's like a mosquito.
彼女は身体能力
For
も
the good of
精
humanity,
神強度も並だったから、当然の結果とも言えます。むしろ、5年もよく続けられたものです。
No, not her mental resilience, not at all. I'm surprised she got the job. I'd imagine you have to get, like,
先輩、
I was about to say, like, frequent mental screenings to make sure that you're not, like, woohoo, crazy. But then I thought about some more, and it's like, oh, all executors are fucking crazy, so what's the point?
あのことは、
But I guess the point is to
教
stop
会
this
で
from
再
happening,
会しまし
so.
た。ちょっと驚きました。だって、私より年上になってたんですよ。修道院に引き取られて、5年かけてやっと代行者になった。でも、お世辞にも優秀とは言えなくて、
Yeah.
いつも死にそうな顔
She
をして
kinda sucked.、
すぐにリタイアしそうだった。その度に私に会いに来ては、言いたい放題言って元気になるんです。呆れます。
Yeah, she just was not cut out for this shit.
それから2年経って私たちはチームになりました。ちょっとした失敗で司祭様の不況を買った彼女が泣く泣く私を頼ってきたんです。自分を弟子にしてほ
Oh
しい。
yeah, she must have been desperate as fuck.
鋼鉄から守ってほしいって。私は埋葬機関にスカウトされた後だったので、それなりに権限がありましたから足手まといになると分かっていたけど、それからずっと任務以外では口を聞かない関係のまま5年間が過ぎました。
Nothing wrong with that. You don't need to be friends with the people you work with. You just need to
先
work
輩
with them.
正直肩の荷が下りました。あの子はとても生き残れなかったし、欲望を抑えるのが下手だった。こうなるのは目に見えていたんです。だから私と組まなければあの子はもっと早く対向車なんかやめられて。
いいんだ。謝っていいんだよ先輩。
Mm-hmm. She gasps sharply. Her formidable aura wavers for a moment. But that's all. She stays facing away, holding back her feelings with all her might.
ごめんなさい。あなたに何も返してあげられなかった。
Soundlessly, voicelessly, tearlessly, she weeps.
先輩。
I call out to her once more. I know I should wait until she's ready, but I can't bear to leave her alone any longer.
そろそろ行こう。秋でも夜は冷えるんだし、そんな薄着じゃ風邪をひきます。
She nods, taking a deep breath, then turns to look at me with a forced smile.
はい、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
Yeah, you should really put on some pants and like maybe something that covers your
私
armpits.
はこの通り元気なので、風邪なんてひきま。
Maybe even a hat, you know, something to keep the heat
遠
in.
野くん、何ですかその体。
Gee, I wonder whose fault that is. She dashes up to me to inspect my left arm. I almost black out as she touches my wounds. With everything that's happened, I'd forgotten that my arm was shredded to bits. Yeah, you
治療
got like hamburger helper and a
すぐに治療し
Ziploc
ます。
bag hanging off your shoulder.
あー、でも首都化しているなら秘跡は逆効果だから、この場合はどうすれば。
Arcuade, can you help us? She continues to fuss over my arm. It still hurts, but it's 1,000 times better than watching her force a smile.
いいですよ。無理に治さなくて。放っておく分には痛みはないし、栄養を取れば治ってくれそうです。
あ、そうなんですか。じゃあ私からの魔力供給なんかよりご飯の方が
I mean-
効果的ですよね。
I'd assume like just raw magical energy would be fine, just not in the form of your holy sacrament shit that's specifically designed to fry him.
ええ、きっと。だから早く帰りましょう。先輩のアパートなら
Ooh,
食べ
leftover
物あるでしょ
I haven't made a big
Hora.
pot of curry in a
う。
while.
作り置
But
きのカレーとか。
curry's kind of like leftover pasta you get from Olive Garden, where it's almost better the second day because all the flavors had time to like soak in to all the ingredients. Oh, she looks so offended. Man, I love her. At last, everything's back to normal. Now that our long night is at an end, we can... Oh yeah, Ro is still living in the back of your head, ain't he? We gotta kind of like dig him out. Damn it. He always picks the worst times to butt in. Maybe just couldn't keep quiet any longer. The moment I let myself relax, my headache comes back with a vengeance.
先輩。俺、歩けそうになくて。情けないけど、先輩の部屋まで肩を貸して。
Yeah, just make sure to hold him in a way where there's a little bit of distance between him and your neck.
情けなくなんかないです。無理をせず頭痛に耐えることだけに集中してください。あとは私に任せて。
She slips around to my right side and props me up.
ごめんなさい。抱えてあげたいのは山々なんですけど、私も荷物があって。もう
Bitch, just
こ
tell
んな時に
Nanako
セ
to
ブンは
walk.
起きもしないんですから。
Put those hooves to use. I guess she's talking about her gun. Weapon in one hand and me in the other, Ciel starts to ascend the debris. At this point, I just want to black out, but I can't afford to lose consciousness yet. If I do, there's no guarantee I'll wake. And besides, I have more to say to Ciel. I have to keep being me, at least until dawn comes. And so the battle over Roa's host comes to an end. For tonight, anyway. But Shikitono will last until tomorrow. He will not succumb to Roa so easily. Bathed in the light of the moon, she looks on from afar.
変な邪魔が入ったけど、結局あいつの一人勝ちか。ほんと、どこまでも目障りな女。
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, like, that's gotta prick you the wrong way.
邪魔者は大小様々だけど、間違いなく大きい方の邪魔者ね。
The one in the white watches the two figures vanish from view down below, a grin blossoming on her lips. Shikitono and the executor. Her warm smile and cold malice are all directed at both of them.
おっかねえ独り言はそこまでだ。さっきを抑えろよ吸血鬼。その辺にしておかねえと、この辺りのカラスがストレスで全滅するぞ。
The top of the building teems with movement. The vampire stands on the edge, the blonde boy behind her. But they are far from the only ones here tonight. Countless executors lie in wait, dressed in battle garb. Even now, their numbers grow. Lurking in the shadows, or perched atop nearby buildings, they await their orders. Their presence is so blatant as to leave their purpose beyond question. They are here to surround and subdue the vampire in white.
マーリオ、私、一度忠告したわよね。
ああ、してやがったな。なんでこっちも本気でやる。俺も後がないんでな。使徒になっちまった部下を放置してでも、こっちに戦力を集中させた。あれは俺の責任だ。悔やんでも悔やみきれん。
Yeah, that one's gonna look bad on you.
せめてその代償に、あんたにはここで一旦消えてもらう。
When you go back, it's like, okay, so one, you left on an unsanctioned mission, where you had essentially someone you acquisitioned like not something you should have done anyway, turn into a dead apostle and threaten to destroy the entire town. Like this ain't looking good. This boat you're sailing back in has some holes in the bottom, bud, that you need to patch up quick. Every word he says is true. Over 30 executors are positioned around the rooftop, each one equipped with holy relics and conceptual weapons designed to counter a true ancestor. This is a force assembled to exterminate Arcuid, not powerful enough to overwhelm her, but enough force to array to equal her. Ugh. If it comes to battle, they will likely annihilate each other, leaving Mario the sole survivor. She can see that as clearly as he.
お見事。昔からきちんと計算するのよね。この町に来る前の私なら、微笑みの一つでも送っていたかも。
やめてくれ、縁起が悪い。そもそもあんたが笑うことなんてなかっただろうが。ったく、異常すぎるぜ今回のあんたは。大体なんでロアを殺しに行かなかった？あいつがロアの逃避先だって分かってたんだろ。
Yeah, but she kind of likes him, so.
ダメよ。今だとシエルが邪魔するでしょ。
Also that.
あいつがいるうちは
It'll just
我
turn
慢し
into
な
another
くちゃ。
squabble.
私、ことはできるだけ穏便におしとやかに済ませたいの。
You know, end up with one of those things like one of them's pulling the other's hair and the other one's got like their thumb like fish hooked into like their cheek and pulling it. You know, like that kind of classic anime shit.
おしとやかってどういう意味だ？
人間らしいって意味。シエルと戦い出したら私楽しくなりすぎて町の人間をみんな殺してしまうと思うの。ほら、そうなったらシキに嫌われてしまうでしょ。
Yeah, he would publicly unfriend you on Facebook. The air seems to freeze. This is no longer the woman Mario once knew. Nor is it the creature of impulse he encountered days prior. This is something utterly alien. A cruel goddess who would dash to pieces those who displease her.
おい。
でも、その前にこっちが先ね。あなたがいるとロアを生かそうとするし、何よりシエルの味方をされたら面倒だし。小さい方の邪魔者はここで蹴散らしておきましょうか。
Mm-hmm. One thing at a time. The phantom flower blooms in the moon. At Mario's command, the platoon of executors leaps into action. Their crosshairs converge on the pale vampiress. Were she the woman Mario anticipated, she would have died right there. But she is not, and with crimson eyes, she scatters them. The route is precise. Executors drop one by one. No blood soils the concrete. With an invisible force, she momentarily stops their hearts, rendering them unconscious, but unharmed. In the blink of an eye, the battle is over, and the vampire turns to the young boy.
ああ、でもあなたは別よ、ベスティーノ。指導者として少しは血を流しなさい。
That might be a nice thing to say, but realistically, they'd prefer not to. Blood explodes from the boy's four limbs. He slumps like a marionette with its strings cut. With his forehead drooping to the ground, he almost looks to be begging.
そうなってやがる。吸血衝動で弱ってるんじゃねえのかってめえ。
もちろん、乾いて乾いてどうかしそう。
Yeah, but her priorities have shifted
ドア
in her
に
head.
盗まれた私の一部を取り戻さないと、このまま壊れてしまうぐらい。だから一刻も早く士気を取り戻さなくっちゃ。
取り戻す。何立ち狂ってんだってめえ。あのガキの中にはロアがいる。
Brain full of
あの
Roa.
ガキだってお前の敵じゃねえか。
士気がロアであることに何か問題があるの？
Yeah, you know, we all have our flaws, but she loves him anyway. As the boy's mouth gapes, he finally puts his finger on the source of his unease. A true ancestor using their powers indiscriminately is certainly a threat, not an unknown quantity. He himself once helped subdue a low-ranked true ancestor who succumbed to their vampiric impulses. This, however, is unprecedented. Margaret has suffered an unthinkable malfunction. The most powerful vampire is broken in the most dangerous way possible.
ええ、これは運命なんだわ。必要なものと欲しいものが同じになるなんて。こんなに嬉しいことがあるなんて、私は今まで知らなかった。
Drunk on infatuation, the woman in white looks to the sky. She stretches out her hand as though to grasp the moon.
ロアの逃げ先が好きでよかった。それって心身ともに彼は私のものってことでしょ？
I think Ciel and I think Shiki too might have something to say about that. In the throes of bloodlust, she has never looked more love-struck. Damn, need insane GF. Hit me up in the comments or Discord. We make it back to Ciel's apartment without turning any heads. Apparently, Ciel keeps a simple glamour on herself to divert people's attention. As long as I'm with her, there's no danger of being noticed. New vampires could do some crazy things, but I guess the church isn't far behind. Oh god, there's so much white in this room. Don't touch anything. You're covered in blood. We make our way inside. Only 10 days have passed since I first came here. But that evening feels like a lifetime ago.
どうぞ狭苦しいところですが楽にしてください。
はい。ではお邪魔し
Yeah,
ます。
sit in that wooden chair, but like make sure not to touch the curtains. Even after everything that's happened, I still feel self-conscious about coming to a girl's house late at night.
頭痛はどうですか？ここなら少しは緩和されるはずなんですが。
Buddy, we might need more than like a little Tylenol to fix him. My headache died down the moment I entered the apartment. It hasn't disappeared completely, but it's much more bearable.
すごい、めちゃくちゃ楽になった。さすが先輩、本当何でもできるんですね。
それは良かったです。私の知識もたまには人の役に立てるんですね。
She smiles in relief, but her expression remains drawn.
遠野くんはそこにいてください。ご飯温めてきます。
She listlessly retreats to the kitchen. I hope it won't be long before she's back to Wait a minute. Back to normal?
先輩、ちょっと待って。
You're kind of the one who needs to go back to normal, dude.
はい？何かリクエストですか？ご飯を大盛りに？それともルーを2倍ですか？
She's got a full menu all planned out. Is she making up for the convenience store food she served last time? I guess it's better not to ask. Anyway, there's something more important on my mind.
着替えないんですか？
You're stomping around on these nice wood floors in your dirty boots. Like the Japanese man inside of him is having a stroke right
その
now.
服なんていうか。
It's a little stimulating. Threatening, maybe. Or enticing.
おかしいですか？
Yeah, you're gonna give her boy here some like weird fetishes.
いえ、文句なしで似合ってます。そこは自信を持ってください。ただ、つい廃墟で追いかけられたことを思い出しそうになるというか。
Might be the start of deep-seated trauma, if I'm being honest.
そうですよね。失礼しました。
It's gonna awaken that whole like predator-prey kink in him, but he wants to be like the rabbit cornered by
ご
the
飯の
fox.
前に着替えるのが先ですよね。
She bolts into the bathroom like a frightened rabbit. I guess she realized what was going through my head. After we polish off an intriguing dinner, Ciel insists on tending to my arm, or at least making it more presentable. Just a splint and a bandage make a world of
そ
difference.
れで、先輩。俺は
Yeah, it
これ
helps
か
if
ら
you
ど
don't
う
have
すれ
to
ばいいの
look
か。
at the torn up hamburger meat hanging off the bone. It's good for your mindset. If we consult the church, we might uncover a way to restrain Roa.
まずは遠野くんの中のロアを一時的に鎮静化させます。この部屋は簡易的な聖域になっていますから、とりあえずここにこもっている限り危険はないはずです。
Oh god, Ciel's the kind of girl that she has like crucifixes hung up in her room. Which makes you feel awkward when you're macking on her, because it's like, oh, Jesus is watching though.
ですね。頭もヒリヒリするぐらいでめまいも起こらないし、高揚感に襲われることもないし。でもそれは一時的なもの
It's
で、
almost worse.
万全ではない。
Would you say it's worse if like Jesus is watching compared to like if their dog or cat is in the room? Like, that's weird in a different way, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just something that's kind of in the air, you know, when it's going on, where it's like, just gotta try to put that out of mind, I guess.
はい。あくまでロアを鎮静化させているだけですから、根本的な解決にはなっていません。
Yeah, you do have a little man living in your head.
加えてロアの意識は日に日に増大していくものです。この部屋もいずれ意味をなさなくなる。ですから、その前にロアを消し去る方法を見つけ出します。先ほども言いましたが、 本王朝に戻れば何らかの手段があるはずなんです。だって13年前とは違う私というサンプルがあったのですから、彼らが転生体とロアの魂を切り離す研究をしていないはずがない。
じゃあ本当にうまくすればロアを切り離せる。
In theory. In theory.
ですが、仮にその手段が確立されていたとしても、
Yeah.
あなたを待っているのは
They will
地獄かも
literally
しれ
be
ない。
like flaying him from your soul, so I'd imagine that would sting.
その
just a
術式
little.
が私一人で扱えるものならまだいいけれど、もし本国でなければ行えないものなら。
Hey, on the bright side, you get to go on vacation to Rome.
シエル先輩だけじゃなく俺も教会に行かなくちゃいけないってことですね。
Just make sure to like keep your wallet in like a zipped up pocket or something where they can't get to it.
はい、彼らから見れば私もあなたも異端者です。人並みの扱いはされないでしょう。
Just something you gotta be mindful of in big European cities, man. Pickpockets like crazy. Like whenever I go anywhere in Europe, I always have like one of those. It's not like a, I suppose it is a fanny pack, but it's more like one of the satchels you kind of hang from like your shoulder to your hip. And I keep everything like on the front in that, like underneath my. Usually I wear like a button up when I go out, so I'll have like my t-shirt and then like a Hawaiian shirt or like a flannel, and it'll be like between the t-shirt and that. So that way my pockets are empty. So that way even if there are, wandering fingers, the only thing they grab is some man meat.
遠野くんの場合、目のことさえ黙っていれば普通の男の子ですから、私のように研究材料として扱われることはないでしょうけど。
それでもすごく痛い。
Yes. It'll be excruciating.
どうでしょう。痛みや耐性を測る手術ではありませんから、麻酔ぐらいは使うと思いますが。まあ、そのあたりは立ち会う人間の趣味ですね。異常性癖者でないことを祈ってください。
Unusual tastes. I bite back a really bad joke. She has real talent for saying the wildest things with the straightest face. She probably doesn't even realize it.
問題は過程ではなく結果です。教会でも治療ができなかった場合、遠野くんは吸血種として扱われてしまうんです。
Yep, those take you out back, put you
そう
down.
なってしまったら、あなたは私と同じ扱いを受けることになる。だから。
Another reason she wanted to end my life before I could be transformed into Roa. Then and now, her goal is to save me from a lifetime of agony. Only this time, she's not sure her solution is the right
いい
one.
ですよ先輩。それが一番確実ならどこにだって行きます。どんな結果になっても先輩に文句は言わないし、誰にも文句は言わせません。
いえ、たとえ何を敵に回そうとも、誰にも遠野くんを傷つけさせない。それだ。
もちろん。
I mean, those are some big,
先
big
輩が大好
words.
きですから、俺。
We appreciate it, but let's hopefully not have to be, on the run if we can, afford it. If there's one thing I can trust, it's that Ciel will always be on my side. All I'm worried about right now is passports and travel fares.
どちらにせよ、遠野くんはしばらくここで待機です。
Do you even have a passport?
その間、私はこの国の支部に出向して、本国と渡りをつけます。なんとか1週間以内に話をつけますから、それまで一人で待っていてください。
Can you at least, like, rent him a laptop or maybe go to, like, a secondhand store and get one?
ちょっと待って。先輩の部屋に一人で何日も泊まり込むんですか俺。
Because this room's lacking a little bit of, furnishings. So he just has to stare at plain white walls for a week. He's gonna go nuts.
ですね、遠野くんの命がかかっているんですから、それぐらい我慢してください。あ、妹さんに連絡を入れるぐらいはいいですけど、あんまり事情は説明しないでくださいね。
Yeah, you should probably give them a call because they're gonna go to your room and see like, oh, everything's torn apart. There's claw marks in the fucking ceiling. All the furniture's smashed, and oh look, Kohaku is like dripping with ectoplasm on the bed, hanging on by a thread. We should probably catch this guy.
いや、 この部屋に不満があるんじゃなくて、むしろ逆なんですけど。
They're going out like dog catchers,
先
like
輩が
those
いいな
little
らいいです。
those poles with the loop on the end that you get around their necks to hold them in place, trying to track you down. The important thing is that I know what I'm doing next. Just need to stay put and wait for a Ciel. As long as I can fend off Roa until then, I'll be okay. There's just one thing left to discuss.
俺の話はこれで済みました。次は先輩の番です。
Something I care about far more than my own petty problems.
私の番ですか？
はい。何もかもうまくいって、何もかも終わった後の話です。ロアが消えて体が元に戻ってたら、先輩は俺と付き合ってください。もちろん恋人としてですよ。ちゃんと学校も卒業してくれないと嫌です。二人で青春を謳歌しま
It's
しょう。
like, whoa, one step at a time, bud. I appreciate the sentiment, but those first couple things, like, well, the first one, yeah, sure, whatever, done deal. But the whole going back to school and graduating, that's... You guys are going to be preoccupied for a hot minute with this thing.
恋人って慎んで受けじゃなくて、なんか性格変わってませんか、遠野くん。すごく動物的なような。
もともとこういう性格です。やりたいことはやります。とにかく先輩は俺と一緒にいてください。今まで頑張ったんだから、ちょっとぐらい普通の生活をするべきなんです。
I want to date with marriage in mind.
それと死にたいと思うのもなしです。それだけは絶対になしですから。
I'd feared as much. Her heart is still mired in guilt. She's only come this far chasing a single hope. And when she kills Roa, she'll finally be able to die. Without that, she could have endured, she never could have endured for so long. But I can't watch her live like that any longer.
ダメですよ。そんなの。
Her voice instantly douses my excitement. She sounds like she's on the verge of tears.
遠野くんの言いたいことはわかります。私も安易に死を望むことはもうありません。彼女を殺した以上、自分のために死ぬことはできません。でも、それと私のあり方は別問題です。私はロアとして多くの人間を殺しました。その罪の清算が残っています。
And you'll still do that by being an executor? Can you even still keep the job if your Roa powers go away? Because I know you're only immortal because of the whole Roa connection, but same with like your super strength and all that. I know Noelle was using just kind of magic buffs in order to do all her stuff, but are you just, built different? Or do you also use those, or is it just like a byproduct of your training? Like, are you even gonna be able to do this job still? Or are you just talking in a different way? Like you're gonna, I don't know, work at a church soup kitchen or something?
たとえ不死身で亡くなっても、私は最後まで償わなければいけません。いえ、償いたいんです。
She stopped dedicating herself to dying, only to dedicate herself to saving others instead. When will she learn to think about herself? She started to act like she finally understood, but I knew better. She never had a clue.
それはそれでいいと思いますよ。
It's getting better though, one step at a time. We'll take incremental steps. We'll get there eventually.
先輩は一生償えばいい。もう納得するまで償ってください。それと同時並行で自分の幸せを求めてください。だいたいブローブの時からそうだったし、先輩はブローブが憎いんじゃなくて、人間として当たり前の義務として戦っていた。そのあたりからして考えが真っ当なんです。あなたは。
Well, it's hard to, have anything against someone personally when you literally don't know who the fuck they are. She was nothing like me, with a single-minded focus on killing. However powerful she became, whatever hardship she has to endure, she's only ever lived to serve the greater good.
でもそれは私にはそれしかできないから。
I don't know, join like some women's MMA circuit and make a lot of prize money.
何言ってるんですか。あれだけ学校で人気者だったくせに。
Just like one kidney blow and like fucking liquefy some poor girl's organs and get like $10,000 for it.
いいですか。先輩は普通の生活だってできるんです。でもそれだけじゃ物足りない。あなたは欲張りだから全部解決したがってるだけなんです。自分の過去も未来も半端にはできない。だからいっつも貧乏くじを引いていいように利用されるんですよ。
そんなことはありません。私そこまでお人よしではありませんから。
It's kind of the whole thing you're known for at the school. Like even when you're not on, you know, save the world from vampires mode, you're still to help everyone out, kind of like Shiro light.
ならちょっとは悪いことをしましょう。先輩には両立できるだけの素質も努力もあるんだから、続けたいんなら続ければいいんです。そうしていればいつか。
Maybe someday she'll be able to seek her own happiness, even if she can't ever forgive herself. One day, the gratitude of those she saved will lift her up more than her regrets weigh her down. It might take years, might take decades, but I can't imagine any greater joy than being by her side when that day comes.
とにかく先輩が楽しくやっていける時だって来ると思います。それを自分から切り捨てるのはやめてください。
Just as long as I feel like that's a typo. Like it should be as long as, but they typed as long twice. Just as long as you don't give up on yourself.
そうでしょうか。それは夜に虹がかかるような話だと思います。
Ooh, localization team, you're messing up. Things got through QA. I fucking got your ass.
夜に虹?
Yeah, a what? Is that a French
お父さんの口癖です。私たちの町の例え話。
Man, French sayings are weird. I don't know if this is particularly like a Quebecois saying, or like if like they say this back in mainland France too, or whatever. But you know, like a sun shower when it's raining, but like the sun's out and stuff, like it's a blue sky, but it's still raining. Yeah, most people call them sun showers. Fucking back where I'm from, it's the devil's beating his wife. And that's all I knew it as until I was like 12. And then someone mentioned sun shower. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I can see that. But no, it's like every time I saw it happening as a kid, it's like, yep, devil's beating his wife. I'm like, oh, okay.
起きては欲しいけど、起きるはずのない出来事をそう言って
I'd
いたん
imagine
で
it's
す。
like a Quebecois thing, because they're like fucking, they have like Catholicism brain rot.
虹は太陽の可視光が分かれて見えるものですから。
It's why like all the,
昔の人はそんな仕組みは知らなかったでしょうけど。
you know, all the expletives and the curse words you say, they're all, you know, church related stuff. Like, oh, tabernacle. I don't think I get it.
いえ、何でもありません。ありがとう、遠野くん。あなたにそう言ってもらえるのは本当に嬉しいです。でも、やっぱりダメですよ。私はもう学生には戻れないし、
She's like,
遠
yeah,
野くん
I'm
の恋人に
like
なんて
27.
なれません。私はあなたを
It would
騙し
literally be
て
a crime. I would
助け
go
を
to
求めて
jail.
きたあなたを殺すところでした。あれ、
そんなこと気にしてたんですか？
He's like, I don't care.
そんなことじゃないです。思い出すたびに死にたくなります。っていうか死にます。
That'll be a great story to tell people, like when you're at like little parties asking about how you met. It's like kind of like, oh, you know, she gaslighted me into thinking I knew her, and then she tried to kill me, but then we kissed and it all worked out in the end. Ah, jeez, what's the big deal? Everything worked out in the end. The female mind really is a mystery.
大丈夫。俺は気にしてませんから。先輩も気にしなくていいよ。ほら、 好きな人に追いかけられるっていうのも貴重な経験だったしさ。
Actually, who knows? Shiki might even be 18, since he's adopted, and they don't really know how old he was exactly when they got him. It's like when you get a dog from the pound, you know. It's just kind of like, you know, he's from the streets. We think he's like 2.5. But then as they're grown, it's like, he might be a little older. So I crack a joke in an attempt to put her at ease. Ciel remains stubbornly silent, tears glistening in her eyes, and the tips of her ears are reddening.
何より今夜の先輩かっこよかったし。
It was a good one. Still think they're cowards for not giving her the cool tats.
いつもの制服も包囲姿もいいけど、ここぞという時に特別な服装で決めてくるとか反則です。
That was honestly the best part about her design.
誰だって惚れ
Well,
直し
her
ます。
powered Ciel design. It was the juxtaposition between she kind of had like a nerdy, kind of goofy look in the original, but then she comes out all fucking armed to the teeth. She got her combat boots, you know, she's got her combat knife, and she's got these sick fucking army tats. It was great, but now it's just kind of like, oh, it's kind of a weird looking blue kind of jumper with a skirt. It's like, She's still not speaking, but she does glance my
あ
way.
とは、そうだ、メガネをかけてないとイメージ変わるんですね。
みたいじゃなくて年上です。そりゃ、あの時から体は成長してませんけど。
何ですと？
It's like, wait, what? Hold up. I think I just heard something with explosive implications. Though, I should probably just ignore it. Either way, yeah. I don't need gold, though. I need to know. Yeah, silence is golden. One, never ask a woman her age. However, are you going to jail? Am I being groomed? For quite a while. She must mean since she turned into Roa and was killed by Arcuid. Collating this with other available data reveals...
先輩、12歳の時からそんなスタイルなのか？
I knew she was part French, but that's just crazy.
人より掃除家だったんです。それに目覚めてから少しは成長しましたから、絶対。
Yeah, Noelle was butthurt about it. I distinctly recall Miss Noelle saying Ciel hadn't aged in 5 years. But I can tell that I'm gonna get an earful if I don't stop now. Well, it was 5 years since they started working together. Add on top the time between, you know, after they split when the town got destroyed to, you know, they each went their own way and then reconverged. There's also the time in the middle there. Better drop the subject.
でもほら、くぐってきた修羅場が違いますもんね。先輩は吸血鬼退治のプロフェッショナルなわけだし、俺は吸血鬼になりかけなんだから、先輩が非常に徹したのは当然というか。
Uh-oh. She's gone fully unresponsive. I fumble for a way to salvage the conversation, but come up short.
参りました。それとも、俺なんかとは話したくない。
Yeah, we don't care if you're old and busted, you know. You age like a fine wine. She swallows hard. Then, looking as though she's about to burst into tears. Her voice is so quiet, I can barely hear it.
遠野くんはバカです。私は遠野くんが思っているような人間じゃないのに、どうしてそんなに私に優しくできるんですか？そんな資格、私にはありはしないのに。
資格なんて俺にだってなかったですよ。でも、そんなものは必要ないって笑い飛ばしてくれたのは先輩です。
In this very room, in fact. In the hours after I killed Arcuid, when I could think about was suicide, it was Ciel who saved me. Ciel and no one else. そうでした。先輩、
俺は先輩の罪なんて知りません。それは俺には関われないことです。俺は先輩が好きだから、先輩
I
を
don't
愛して
care
いるから
about
こ
how
こに
many
いるんです。
innocent people you killed before I met you. You know,
あ
I
な
didn't
た
know
が
those
どんな
people.
人間
No
で
skin
も
off
構わ
my
ない。
back.
先輩とシエルとずっと一緒にいたいから幸せになってほしいんです。
遠野くん、今
なんでもう先輩が何を言おうと騙されませんから。こうなったら地獄の底までついていって無理やり笑わせます。
Yeah, you're so serious all the time. Someone's got to be the comic relief character.
だからほら
He'll be
先輩
the
にとっては迷
the
惑だろう
puck
けど
to your guts.
たちの悪い後輩に捕まったと思って
No,
い
I
い加
guess that
減
makes
降参してください。
Arcuwood Griffith? Then Shiki is both Puck and Casca mixed together. I don't like where this is going. Let's get off this road before we, you know, have to go through all the steps and put it all together. Because I don't like how the math is adding up. I hold out a hand and wait for her reply. That's what it takes for her to give me a straight answer. So be it.
しょうのない後輩ですね。聞いているこっちの方が恥ずかしくなるなんて想定外もいいところです。そんなことを言われたら完全降伏するしかないじゃないですか。
She extends her hand to take mine. She doesn't shake it this time, but gently interlaces her fingers with mine.
先輩
Yeah,
それじゃ
it's don't shake hands after you had like a good romantic exchange with a girl. That's don't do that.
はい、お言葉をお受けします。
Like you can take your
自信
hand
はあ
in
りま
yours,
せん
that's
けど、
fine. But
遠
don't
野くんといるときは自分から
Don't bust
諦め
out
る
the
ことは
business
しないと
handshake.
誓います。
save that for like when you
こ
meet
れ
her
から
dad
は
or something.
恋人同士なわけですし。
Just don't get it mixed up and like try to like stick your fingers in between his or whatever. Ciel steps closer, drawing her hands to her chest, and looks up at me as she stammers out her reply.
でもこれだけは先輩として言わせてください。ですね、遠野くんの10倍、いえ100倍以上私の方が大好きですから、覚悟してくださいね。
She prods me in the chest, sporting her most devious smile yet. I'm a little scared, but I'm glad she's back to normal. It's okay, bud. We're all a little scared the first time. It's a relief to have finally cleared the air. My mind is at peace, as though I'm back in the tea ceremony room. Just, you know, not at that time where we get the bad end where Noelle chopped you into pieces slowly. That wasn't a very good time in there. I feel fulfilled. Well, almost. It's hard not to feel nervous with her standing so close, looking so vulnerable. And I'm realizing it smells awfully nice in here. Spin around to find a clock hanging on the wall. Both of its hands are pointing squarely at
も
12.
うこんな時間だったんだ。
はい、夜明けまであとちょっとしかないですね。
Buddy, it's midnight in the like late fall. It's gonna be like 6 to 7 hours until the sun's up. What are you talking about? We stare at each other awkwardly. Ah, screw this. Life's too short for us to beat around the bush. Someone's gotta do something. Alright, I'm gonna say it. Here goes nothing.
先輩ベッドを使いましょう。
Oh, I guess we just gotta share now. Tick tock, goes the clock on the wall. I'm too embarrassed to look Ciel in the eyes, but her expression just now was too adorable for words. Apparently, she feels the same. A minute passes in silence as we each process what the other just said. And then simultaneously burst into
じゃ
laughter.
あ今度は床に寝るのはなしで。ベッドは一つしかありませんから一緒に寝るしかないですね。
But maybe you should both like take some showers first. Not as preparation for anything, you know, unwholesome, but because you just literally were fucking crawling through a crater in the ground with blood and gore and fucking dirt, and you probably just stink.
なるほど。それでは私、先にシャワーを浴びてきます。
Ciel practically sprints to the bathroom. I can't help but grin as I watch her go. Though there's a ticking time bomb called Roa inside me, worry is the furthest thing from my mind. Perhaps that's wrong of me, but it's the honest truth. The person I thought I'd lost so many times before is back for good. So long as she's with me, I feel like everything will turn out just fine. I held her close once, back in the dark of the ruins. All I wanted then was to console her. But this time is different. This time, I can hold her with my whole heart. And maybe, if I hold her close enough, I'll forget we have to go our separate ways when morning comes. And then we just skipped to morning without implying anything happened. That's why we faded to black. And we all know what fading to black means. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that, with the fade to black where a certain other kind of scene would happen in the original, that is where we are going to end things here for today. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and check out the Discord in the description down below. And I will see you guys all next time for the continuation of Ciel's route. Where we're in the stretch. We're in the final stretch, like one or two episodes left. Maybe 3. Because there's normal end and then the good end where you need a certain amount of Arcwood points, and I don't know how long that's going to be, if it's just like one of those things where it's like a 15-minute epilogue change, or if it's in like an entirely different kind of branching like end point of the game. Like the whole denouement is different. Also, I know I said I would do the dead ends and like tack them on to the end of this. I'll probably upload them as like a 0.5 video because there's 3 of them. It'll probably only be like 20-30 minutes long, but I don't want to record those right now, so I'm just gonna do that later. Maybe when I get home from work, maybe when I wake up tomorrow before I record the actual video for the next part. So if you want to see those, keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, I've said my bit, so I'll let you guys all go now. Catch you later. Bye bye.